on, you guys? My name is Kyle Solkar, and this is my 2018 BMW M3 that I've officially owned for now 2 years. If you watched the first video I made about a year ago, the car had around 12,000 miles on it in the first year that I owned it. It now has about 25,000 miles on it in the second year, so I'm averaging about 12,500 a year, which is, I would say, a daily driver. Some people disagreed, but in my case, it is the only car that I really drive as of right now. I did have an X5 last winter that kind of eased off some of the miles. So a little bit more miles this year, and of course, some beautiful modifications that I'm super excited to show you. Now, I didn't modify the car for a while because I wanted to just enjoy it in a stock form. I wanted to be able to get out of my parking garage in Chicago and not really have to worry about anything. But given the fact that I'm probably gonna end up trading the car in the next year or two to kind of upgrade to the next thing, I wanted to make this car kind of me and the best that it could possibly be. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to show you exactly what we did to it, and that's starting up here. So this is the M3 CS OEM front spoiler. Now, I bought this from my friend who was able to get it new from BMW. It's Elmhurst BMW, where I get all of the stuff from. Is where the car is from as well as a beautiful set of 20-inch HREs. These are the HRE FF04, and I could not be happier with how they look. Now, it doesn't just, end up like this from the factory. There is quite a wheel gap when you first get the car. It's like that. So there's about a 1.5-inch drop in the front and about a 0.3-inch drop in the rear. Or, as you can see, it is absolutely tucked. Now, I'm gonna cue some shots right now so you guys can see the work that went into the car. I had it done over at the Savage Edition shop. They were able to lower the car, install the lip, add clear brought to the headlights, and all the good stuff. And then I also had the car aligned as well after the fact to make sure that everything's good. Now, some of the things that you might want to know about modifying a car, lowering a car, stuff like that, is the fact that you do have to drive it slightly differently. Now, not incredibly differently, considering the fact that if you didn't have the lip like this, you'd probably be okay. But considering I wanted to make it look, good as possible, you look down here and you could see that it is just incredibly low. So you do have to worry about pulling into parking lots and stuff like that. Part of the reason I waited so long is because I was like, you know what, for the last bit of ownership of the car, I kind of want to just, make it more on the show car side and less of the utilitarian side. So that's what I did there. As you guys can see, if you watch the YouTube video, I did black out the car. I got a lot of hate on the other video about the front grills not being blacked out, but I did buy those as well. So the grills are blacked out and the side trim is blacked out. I'm not sure about the badge. I don't really like taking badges off, especially when it's from the factory, but I might switch out the badge as well. That's chrome, so it really doesn't match anything. Of course, you've got my plate right there, S Media. You can follow me on Instagram at Solkar, SULKR_media, if you want to see more of the stuff that we do. But yeah, if you look, you'll see also that I've got these exhaust tips. They're a little bit wider. They look a little bit more aggressive. And then you've got this RW carbon spoiler. This is my favorite of all of them. I'll leave a link below for them. This is my favorite looking one for the F80. They didn't have an OEM one. They had a sport kind of one that they put on the F30s. But I don't really like how it looked. I like the more aggressive look. So if you look from afar, I think it really looks complete. Now, I have considered getting a carbon fiber rear diffuser and the side skirts as well. I just don't really like dumping money into things that won't hold their value. So I did buy all of these parts used, as I like to preach in a lot of videos. I like to buy things used because then, I can own it and maybe not lose as much money. And, I'm already losing money on the car because it's practically brand new, depreciating asset. So might as well save where you can. So as you guys can see, I'm just completely in love with how it turned out and how it looks. If you guys want to take a look on the inside, as kind of some of the wear, you could see that it's not too bad. The seat bolsters are something I'm always pretty concerned about, and they're wearing pretty decently. Not too bad. Even when I bought the car, it had these kind of like creases in it, so not terrible. The steering wheel, I've tried my hardest to try and keep clean and nice, but to no avail. It is still getting kind of shiny, and I did kind of make some marks up here as well. So unfortunately, I can't keep it perfect and powdery like it was when it was new, but it is what it is. Of course, you've got the carbon fiber trim and all that good stuff. I've got the Passport Max 360. I might actually end up getting the Valentine one, but I like how this blend mount is, so I'm not really complaining too much there. But as far as whether or not you guys should buy one, with the F80s and F82s declining quite a bit, I would really just say that this is an amazing time to buy one of these cars because they've gotten so cheap. The initial depreciation curve has kind of already chilled out. Now this car brand new is about $73,000. Right now it's probably worth around 55 or so, maybe 58 on the retail market. So give or take, but you know, the older models, the 2015s, the 2016s have gotten even into the 30s. I've seen people pick them up, and the really only thing you got to worry about on these cars is the crank hub issue. But if you don't modify it too crazily, like 600 plus horsepower is when people have those issues. Typically, some people have had them stock, I get it, but for most people, you don't really have many issues. And as far as maintenance goes, it's not really ridiculous. I've had actually no issues with the car at all. I've only had to do oil changes on it. Of course, you know, I've done an alignment on it now because I had to do different springs, and when the springs change, your toe changes, so you can't really get around that. So as far as everything else goes, I mean, this is just all aftermarket stuff I'm doing to the car. It's pretty much cost me nothing besides you know, the car itself and the insurance. So I couldn't really recommend anything else to buy in this kind of range of, say, you know, $40,000 to $60,000 that has better, you know, power potential, better looks, and just better handling, technology, everything. I mean, I guess you could compare it maybe to like a Porsche 911, a 997 Turbo, but in my opinion, not only do the looks really come close, but the utility of the car with the rear doors. I mean, on the F80, you've obviously got 4 doors. And just the ability to have amazing sound system, amazing technology. It doesn't look dated, it looks new, and just kind of a perfect, fully functional daily driver package. I really couldn't suggest anything else besides this car. So if you're in the market for one, you're looking for one, I guarantee you, this is the car that you're probably going to want to end up buying. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, I can surely help you out with my friends over at Elmer's BMW in purchasing one yourself. So when it comes down to it, I couldn't be happier. I'm super excited to show you guys these modifications. I hope you like them as well. I know this tuck in the rear is pretty gnarly, but it's actually not rubbing at all. And as I don't know if I mentioned, it's got the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires on it, which are brand new, so I don't want to burn through those too quickly, but this car does get a little bit spin happy when it's cold outside. So excited to have such an awesome setup. It's kind of reminding me of my old E46 M3, which I also did a video on back then, so way back, about 2 years ago. So if you want to click that, I'll leave that at the end of the video, and you guys can see kind of the progression of the cars that I've owned and kind of the style I like. Kind of an OEM plus, maybe plus a little bit more. I really like the fact that this lip is OEM to the M3 CS, but the car is not, you know, 110,000 or whatever dollars. And you know, I didn't get the competition package, but I practically have everything else aside from the seat belts and the seats, but everything else practically looks like one. And it's got the wheels that I want. These are the HRE flow form wheels, so they're a little bit cheaper than the forged you know, full forged wheels. And of course, you know, the tires are the tires. So if you want to replicate this setup yourself, the lip would probably cost you a couple $1,000s. The grills would cost you about $500 with the sides, and then the wheels will cost you probably around $3,500 for both the wheels and the tires. These are 20-inch wheels, so keep in mind that the ride is going to be a little bit more aggressive than you'd typically expect with an 18 or 19-inch wheel, but these cars do come factory in the competition package with the 20-inch wheels. So keep that all in mind, and I'm sure you guys that you're going to have an absolute blast when owning a BMW F80 M3. You don't have to have the 2018. It's just a matter of, you know, what you can afford at the time and what you really want. There's not that big of a difference between this and the other, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18s besides like the taillights, but you can buy, you know, the retrofitted taillights if you like. But overall, I absolutely love this car. I could not be happier with it. It's amazing. It's held up incredibly well over the past 2 years now. It was March 14th of 2018 that I bought it. All right, guys, so with that being said, I want to thank you so very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy the car, and I hope you enjoyed watching kind of what we've done to it so far. It's kind of completed in my book, but if you guys think there's anything else I should do, drop me a comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to hear your suggestions. Guys, as always, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribing would mean the absolute world to me. You could check out other videos of my old M3s and all sorts of different cars I've owned. I'm going to leave all the links in the description and after this video. So with that being said, guys, once again, thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.